everybody. You know, again, it's fall, and so school has started, and all those families are rushing to school, to work, to the kids' events, to all the after-school activities, and rushing home and trying to get dinner started and get to the homework, and then it's to bed. It's just frantic at the end of the day for everybody. I remember those days. So I'm making this casserole dish that I'm making it, which we're going to cook it now, but you can also freeze it. You can put it in an aluminum pan and freeze it and have it ready for, you know, when you come home at night, just put it in the oven and you don't have to prepare it. But it is an easy meal to prepare as well. So let's just get right into it. First of all, I'm going to take some olive oil and, well, let's just start. I take that back. First of all, I'm going to turn on the oven and get the water boiling for the egg noodle. It's an egg noodle casserole. So we gotta get the water boiling so that can be ready. Now I'm going to start my cast iron, and I'm going to put some olive oil in it. And I just drizzle some in there. It's, I don't know, I mean, just enough to. I'm going to saute some mushrooms and garlic. So it's just a couple of swirls around. Use your discretion. So we're going to take, I've got two pods of garlic chopped up, and I've got about a cup of mushrooms. And we're going to saute this in this pan, and then we're going to take it out, and then we're going to cook our hamburger meat in it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the mushrooms, get those in there. And all we're trying to do is just saute them a little bit, get them a little, just a little cooked. And then we're going to remove them back into that bowl. This is somewhat like a lasagna. You use cottage cheese in it, which I'm not a big fan of cottage cheese, but in recipes like this or lasagna, it's really good. It gives it just the right kind of tang. And I would suggest serving this like with a salad, and you'll get your full course of vegetables. And it's such an easy, healthy meal to fix. So these are, you don't need to cook them much, just enough, because we're going to add them back to the hamburger meat after the hamburger meat's cooked. This is a good one to cook on a Sunday, and like I said, freeze it, and then you have it during the week. And actually, depending on your family size, you might get a couple of days out of it. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, and then I've got 1.5 pounds of hamburger meat that I'm going to add over here. Put that there. I'm going to break it up, and then I'm going to add some salt and pepper to it. And then get some salt and pepper on it. We'll do some of this salt. Just salt to taste. I've ground up some fresh pepper here. I love this fresh peppercorn ground. It makes it so much better. Now we'll just cook all of this. I'm going to go ahead and add a little garlic salt to it too. That's just a preference. You do what you do. I'm going to sprinkle in some garlic salt. Just a little bit. Just giving it a little more extra flavor. Because this dish makes me think Italian. Not necessarily, but you can give it, you know, you can give it the Italian flair, or you can add the cumin and chili powder and stuff like that and change the whole flair altogether. Once this is browned, we will we'll get out the grease. We'll pour out the excess fat, and then continue going with it. Okay, so now I've got it, it's all browned, and I have drained the fat from it, and I'm going to put a can of tomato sauce in it. I'll stir it all in. It's on high. I'm going to turn it down to medium. Let it just keep cooking together. And there's so many things you can do with tomato sauce and hamburger meat. Have lots of good meals with that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms back in it and the garlic. And just let that cook with it for the flavor. Then we're just going to, I'm going to turn it to low and just let it saute while we wait for the water to boil for the egg noodles. So we can add those. So this will just keep getting flavorful. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. It's on low. I'm still waiting on the water to boil. It's almost ready. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to add, it's an 8 ounces of sour cream, which is about half a cup. So we're going to get all this in there. I love sour cream. And then we're going to mix it with this. It's 16 ounces, so basically 2 cups of cottage cheese. And we're going to stir that all together. I'm going to add some Italian seasoning to it. And we're going to add salt and pepper to it too. Let's add a little salt. This time I'm adding this salt. It doesn't really matter which salt. I just use what I have. I have this grinder that my son got me for Christmas, and I do nutmeg in it for coffee, and now I've got peppercorns in it, and so I'm grinding fresh pepper. Seeing that's in there, and then we'll put it in. That was quite a bit of pepper that I did there. But anyways, we're going to stir it all in. Get it all mixed up. And then we're going to add, this is 1 bunch of green onions and all chopped up, and I'm going to add those to it. And we're going to mix that up. This looks good. Yummy. Okay, my water's boiling, so I'm going to put my egg noodles in. This is a 16-ounce bag, and I only need 8 ounces, so I'm going to put half of the bag in. Let's see if I can do that. I'm always guessing on that. So I'm going to add a little salt to help that stay hot, to be bubbly. And see if I can get it boiling again. I don't feel like that was half, but it probably was. Never feels like it. Okay, so now we just got to let this cook. Egg noodles don't take very long. That's turned on low, but boy, it's bubbling. So when my egg noodles are ready, I'm going to drain them, and then I'm going to layer this casserole. The egg noodles are on the bottom, and then the sauce, the sour cream and cottage cheese sauce, and then we'll do some cheese and the meat, or the meat and then the cheese, and then we'll start over again. Okay, so you don't want to overcook the noodles. You want them to be al dente because they'll get mushy if not. These are ready, so I'm going to drain them and get ready for the process. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm going to get this ready to assemble it now. And I mean, if I weren't doing it on camera, I would just do it straight from this to not have much mess. But I'm going to put it in the bowls. So it's all over here to assemble it. And as this cooks, the tomato sauce reduced in this, you know, it's not as thick and it cooked into it more. Okay, so now the noodles are done. I'm gonna take this mixture, the sour cream and cottage cheese and green onions, and I'm gonna put it into the noodles, the egg noodles, and mix it all up. It's just looking better and better. Okay, so now that we've got the noodles all mixed in with the sauce, we're gonna make 2 layers. So we're gonna put half of the meat mixture, half of this noodle mixture, and half of the cheese, and then we're gonna repeat with the cheese on top at the end. So let's get half of this in here. This recipe can always be doubled if you have a large family. Now I'm going to do half the cheese. You already have cheese in it too for the cottage cheese. And you know, we can always add a little extra cheese if we want to, which I always like extra cheese. So we're going to repeat again. It doesn't have to be exact, but spread it out. Get the rest of this. And now we're going to top it with cheese, and I actually may just add a little extra cheese. Maybe not. This is going to be enough. Now we're going to put it in a 350 oven until it's all bubbly. I mean, everything's pretty much cooked, so it just needs to get heated all together. So I say make it 1.5 cups of cheese. So you can always, you know, fill it up at the top. I like to cover the sauce and everything up. Okay, so now we're going to put it in a 350 oven, and we'll pull it out when it's ready, hot and bubbly. So this is the finished hamburger bake. Can't wait to eat it. I will say that next time I assemble it, I'll do the meat on top of the noodles so that it cooks differently, because the top noodles some of them are a little bit crunchy, which is fine for me. But the next time I assemble it, I'll do it the opposite way. Meat, noodles, cheese. I'm sorry. Noodles, meat, cheese. Noodles, meat, cheese. That's a cheer. Noodles, meat, cheese. So that's how you should assemble it instead of the way I assembled it. Still gonna be good. Can't wait to eat it. It's a great meal for your family, and you can always double the recipe and freeze half of it for another time. Hope you enjoy it. Let's eat up. Whoops, spilled some out. Look at that. Doesn't that look yummy? And we're eating it with garlic cheese bread. Thank you for watching, and be prepared for more recipes for your family through the winter months.